guys. Hello, hello. Can everyone hear me? Welcome back, guys. Thank you for being here. Hi, 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 hi. Hi, guys. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to Life and Self Love with your beautiful coach, Anna. And, well, you guys. All right, I'm switching around. I'm sorry, Michelle. So, guys, update. We got a new background. Okay, I just want you guys to see, a little bit more motivation. Let your dreams take flight. Live, love, love. We can do it. We can do it. We can always do it up there. And let me diplomas. Oh, and this one, guys. Oh, over here. This one right here. It says life is too important to be taken seriously. Okay, guys, so don't take things too seriously. Don't take things too personally because it has to do more about the other person than you. Okay, so today, guys, I told you guys I want to talk about prosperity. We're going to talk about prosperity in our life, in our self-love. How can we tie prosperity with our self-love, right? If you don't know what prosperity means, from what I understand about prosperity, prosperity is the ideal, the belief system that you have it all, that you can obtain it all, that you already have it all, that you can be rich, you can have everything in life that you want, okay? Because you already deserve all of this stuff, right? You already are here to make this a possibility in your life, okay? You're already here to be prosperous, to be abundant. If you don't know what prosperous, abundancy means, look it up too, okay, guys? But like I'm telling you, being prosperous is knowing how to have the belief that you already have it all, that you already have everything you need, that you already have everything that you're supposed to have. And with that satisfaction in your heart and in your mind, all you can obtain is what? More. Okay. So this is what the book we just read about, right? Prosperity, true prosperity, how to have it all, right, guys? So it's the idea of how to have it all, how you can keep having it all, right? Without having to compromise your family, your health, your wealth, right, guys? There's so much. I know it's been so long, this belief system that you have to work so hard in order to be a millionaire. You have to do all these things to be able to have this prosperous life, this millionaire type of life. But guys, there's like it's a very small percentage of the people who actually are like these big ass millionaires, billionaires, right? And even then, some of these people are very unhappy with their lives, right? So why would I want to be a millionaire but be unhappy, right? Why does that happen? And it happens because people are compromising things that they love in their life simply to get to that millionaire status, that millionaire lifestyle, right? Like how many men out there that are millionaires are still with their same wife, right? Very small percentage, right? So at some point, these people compromise love, family, health, right? To in order to be prosperous. And that's why I want to coach you guys about that. You don't really have to do all of that. You don't really have to be compromising the people you love, your family, or anything to be prosperous or to be abundant with your life, okay? So I have a bunch of notes here that I want to tell you guys about. And let's start. Okay, remember, this is called True Prosperity by Rav Berg. It's a lot of Kabbalah principles and stuff. I personally loved it. I love books, guys. Just read. Just get your read on, guys. The person who reads the most is the person who wins. Okay. Okay, so let's start, guys. I want to start with what is prosperity that is not true, right? Look, so I'm going to be translating real time. So it says the class of success that is generally understood as prosperity in this world is based on compromise in having one thing, but you have to give up something in exchange. See what I just told you guys, right? So it is success with secondary effects. You win a lot of money, but you renounce change, but you renounce passing time with your children, with your family. You see, so again, you make a lot of money, but then you renounce spending time with your kids and family. Okay, or you went out, or you earn a lot of more money, but then you feel depressed because you lack serenity, or you even win more money, and you're practically swimming in this money, but you have obtained it by lying, cheating, stealing, or walking on a bridge fabricated by human bodies. And then you ask yourself why you can't sleep at night. I think that last reference, I'm gonna talk about, like, I know there's a lot of shows out there talking about the narcos, the drug dealers, but that's the one that they need, right? These people are making gazillions of monies, but they don't sleep, right? They're paranoid all the time. If you've seen those shows or anything, you know how they end, right? These men are paranoid. They think everybody's out to get them. Everybody's out here to look for them. And I'm like, first of all, who? No, get out of it. But okay, whatever. Continue. But none of these situations, especially the last one, create true prosperity, because true prosperity is the condition that you already have it all. You have all the money that you may want. You have more than the time to even train a small league. You can be a photographer in a kid's birthday, and you can even go forward with having a business that is more successful than the other and the other. And you could even enjoy happy connections with people who share your life with you, your friends, your employees, your colleagues, and even your competition. The secret to true prosperity really is that each one of us should want to reach in this world. And the key word here is reach. Okay, prosperity is you reach prosperity not because you're intelligent or you're lucky, and also not because you've cheated your competition, but instead because you followed the rules of the universe. Right? So remember, we achieve true prosperity because we're going to follow the rules of the universe. If you don't know what the rules of the universe are, you can actually stop the video and go look them up and then come back. But I know a few. There's a bunch of laws out there about the universe, guys. There's like, I think 12 of them or something. And some of the ones that I remember is like, life of one of the universal laws is like, there's always opportunities around you, always. There's always people helping you. You just got to ask. Another one is you treat others as you want to be treated. And there's a bunch of others, guys. There's a bunch of others, so look them up. Don't just trust my word. But the laws of the universe, get familiar with them. But yeah, because I'm not going to go through the whole album in the book, right? But yeah, guys, so I hope you're understanding how we're starting prosperity in our lives, right? Prosperity is about the belief, the condition that you already have it all, okay? So then then we move into our competition, the max competitor of our life. And it says, when there isn't an opponent, there is no game. If you think about it, without an opponent, you don't have the opportunity to dare yourself or become somebody better, much better than you would have imagined or dreamed of. And of course, whatever you do, whatever you do with your free time, okay? Without an opponent, Michael Jordan couldn't have been the best basketball player out there, right? Without an opponent, right? But right here, without an opponent, there is no challenge, there is no purpose, and there is no fun. However, there is the opportunity to win with sad, y tampoco existe la oportunidad de ganarse la satisfacción. Sorry. And there also is not an opportunity to win with satisfaction. But there is a game. But if there is a game, there must be an opponent. And in the game of life, we have a magnificent opponent. The the most insidious and powerful opponent that has been given to us by the commander of the universe, most best well known as God or the creator, is the opponent that he has given us with only this one purpose: to give us the opportunity to beat him and be capable of becoming the cause and effect of our lives. Okay, remember this: the creator gave us the opponent with the purpose of beating him and be able to become the cause and effect of our lives. Now, what does the cause and effect of our lives mean? That we are, right, the cause and effect. That whatever we do, right, I am deciding today this thing, whatever it is, and that is going to give me an effect in my life, right? I am the creator, I am the causer, and I want to see what is my effect. Right, guys? So don't forget that when we're talking about opponents, it's you who are your biggest opponent. It's you who are your biggest competitor in everything you do at work, in life, with friends. Nobody else in this world is competing with you. Nobody. Remember that it's you against you, because we have it right here. Because if we start believing that, oh, he's my competition, they're my competition, then you no, then you're living on survival mode, guys. You're living in survival fear mode that everybody's my competition out there. I gotta beat them, I gotta beat him, I gotta beat her. No, it's not about that. It's about beating your own self. It's about beating your own Mm, procrastination, let's say it like that, right? It's about you knowing that it's you who's going to be sabotaging yourself whenever you're trying to make a change. Nobody's out here to get you. Nobody's out here to get you. Nobody, guys. It's you, the one who has to get you, okay? That's what the maximum competition is. That is what our maximum opponent is when we talk about prosperity. The only one stopping our prosperity from being prosperous, the only one stopping our prosperity in our life is ourselves, guys. So what I want you guys to remember is that it's very important that we remember that our competition is ourselves, that we are the cause and effect of everything we do in our life. So let's say if I don't want to gain any more weight, what do I have to do? Right? If I don't want to gain weight and be a size 10 again or something like that, right? What do I have to do? I am causing, right, this effect. And I'm going to cause the effect that I don't want to gain more weight. So what do? I stick to eating healthy. I do more salads. I do less bread here and there. And my effect is not gaining any more weight. Okay. So remember, you are your maximum competitor, your maximum opponent, and you are the cause and effect to your life. That is one of the principles of having true prosperity. Okay. This life translating, guys, is a mind. So then it ends with this about the maximum opponent, right? The competitor is a negative force in the universe that constantly pushes us towards chaos. The competitor spends 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, designing ways to ruin and end with your business. However, the part that's really chilling, the part that's really bone chilling, is the fact that this opponent does not work in another side of the city or in the opposite street of you. It actually works within you in your brain. The competitor lives within you, which is what I just said, guys. Don't forget, the competitor is you. The competitor lives within you and is right here. If you don't know how to recognize that competitor, if you don't know how to recognize who's auto sabotaging yourself, it's you. Just so you know. So be careful with that max opponent. Be conscious that your opponent is you, right? And whatever is that your opponent is telling you in your head, you should be aware of. You should be conscious of. You should be okay. Wait, why am I telling myself this, right? My competitor today was telling me, why don't we just stay in bed, right? Why don't we just relax a little bit more, get through things, and et cetera, et cetera. And you know what? I did. I listened to my opponent today. And you want to know why? Because I was just tired, guys. I was tired. I wanted to stay in bed. I wanted to be in bed. I wanted to rest. I wanted to get my mind together. I wanted to get my feelings together. And then I got up. And that's completely okay. Sometimes I feel like in my case, I go with my competitor in these cases because of the way that I want to rest. I want to rest my mind. I want to rest my emotions. Because sometimes, guys, I have pull and push so much sometimes, especially because sometimes because of my job, because right now I'm switching careers and stuff. But you have to listen to that competitor. You have to listen to that opponent. But the fact is, when you listen, be aware of what it's telling you and reflect if that opponent is telling you is actually true, or it's actually just fear-based yappy yap, right? Because then you go, this is just my opponent. I can stop thinking about this, right? I don't have to listen to this. I have to listen to my brain saying, oh, why don't we do the homework later? Right? Okay, guys. So let's keep moving on. So the other part I want to tell you guys about is reality. What we actually come about when we think about reality, and how when we are the cause and effect to our things. And now this is called. So, oh, I like this one right here. If the ego is a curtain, right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, here. So the maximum competitor, remember, is well called our ego, right? So we need to be careful with the boss, the ego. Everyone's got one, ego, which means, yeah, everyone's got one. But see, this perception of yourself is the ego. The bad perception of inflated version of yourself is your ego. Therefore, it is your opponent, because your opponent can only be this inflated once you let it. Once you allow this type of energy or mindset to rule over you. When we let our ego rule over us, right? We're not being that nice, we're not being that calm, we're not being that joyous. Guys, I can tell you when I recognized that at certain points in my life it was my ego running, right? It was my ego, full on Anna ego. I was like, oh my gosh, how did I do that? Why did I do that? Right? And then I'm just saying this in my head, I was like, I thought it was a good decision at the time, blah, 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 right? The jipper yapper. But now at this point in my life, I'm like, wow, I had no idea that my ego had put so much control over myself, right? Following my ideas, doing everything. Like it was so crazy, guys. And so once I was able to reflect that, consciously bring myself out of my ego, because that's another thing you should do. Bring yourself out of that ego and just recognize the ego is in front of you, right? The ego is a side of you. Once you know how to really critically think about your ego, about your opponent, about yourself, about the person who's sabotaging you because it's you, then you can properly, beautifully take control of that ego, put it at a peace of mind, and only use it when it's going to be in your best favor. Okay, so if the ego is a curtain, what is blocking the real fundamental of the universe is something that we denominate the light. So when your ego is a Mac, right? When your ego is running your mind in your life, we tend to perceive reality as of what we don't think it is. We tend to forget that above anything, we're here to be more joyous and more full of light and happiness than trying to find out what this world is without help or without proper guidance. And that's what we shouldn't do. And that's sometimes why society is telling us to do. Like, you can do things on your own, you're supposed to blah blah blah. But no, guys, don't be lonely out there. I myself have to take that tip sometimes. Don't be lonely out there. Don't be just willy-nilly not asking for help, because everybody needs help. Like, to this day, guys, it fathoms me the fact that some kids move out of their parents' houses when they're 18. You're still a baby. You're still in your teens, guys. Chill. Like, why do you want to be an adult so bad? Like, it's not the epitome of the best thing. No, don't rush your own process. Don't rush yourself being an adult simply because you want to brag about how you got out of your house at 18. Like, unless guys, the only time I understand that is when you're like in a very bad family domestic violence situation, and something bad is going on in your house. But if you have a loving family, you have a supportive family, guys, stay in your house. You finish learning how to be a human being. Because at 18, you have not learned how to be a proper human being. Okay, guys? So chill. And then if you're in a bad situation family wise, guys, ask for help, seek help, maybe move out. Okay? Okay. But don't take my words for it. Okay. And now this other part is very important. It's about like, we're gonna call it the 99% and the 1%. So what it means, I'm just gonna read it, guys. So so Mother Nature laughs because sometimes she does a double face type of thing. She sometimes has hidden of the majority of matter that we can see of the universe is sometimes hidden. In fact, we can never really see it. And as a matter of fact, 99% of the universe cannot be seen, heard, or perceived. However, we're going to call our physical world and our day to day reality the 1%. If the spiritual world, or the world of thought and consciousness and light, is that 99%. So remember, spiritual world, thoughts world, consciousness and light are 99% of the world. If 99% of the kingdom is the source of all energy, and consciousness and creativity is 99% of the kingdom of all energy, then the world of that is 1% is usually just illusion and a shadow of the 99% world, right? So everything that exists within the realm of the 1% has its source that comes from the kingdom of the 99%. Okay, I hope you guys got. So remember, the 99% world is what we cannot hear, perceive, or understand, because it is the part of the universe and reality that is kind of like godly, right? Godly part of our universe, of our world, is the 99%. And the 1% is shadow, illusion, ego. And what we want to do is be pulling from the 99%, not the 1%, right? We want to be in the 99% realm because it's where our reality is more centered, it's more focused, is more conscious, is what we know, right? So when we say in this 99% world is where we can know for a fact that we have everything that we need, that we know that we are our own competition, that we know that God has our back, and that we know that we are the cause and effect to everything we do in our lives. So what do we do in this 99% world? We manifest. We come in this 99% world believing in and having the conviction that everything is going to work out in our favor, because it should and always will, right? But if we're pulling from that 1% where there's shadow, where there's doubt, where it's illusion, where it's ego, what are those 1% results going to be? A little bit poopy, right? A little bit, right? Because I told you guys, when I've acted out of ego, I've gotten the weirdest, ugly, poo-poo results. So I decided we gotta be conscious of that ego. We gotta be conscious that, hey, I don't want to do this because it gives me doubt, it gives me comparison, it gives me fear, right? And guys, as I've been coaching, as I've digressed, as I've evolved in my world of coaching and understanding how life works and how self-love works for you, I know that God always has your back, right? God always loves you and wants you to also show the world how to love it. So if anything, guys, ego makes you act out of selfish patterns, out of selfish ways, and it's always not the best way. Okay, like, guys, even when even when we think we're not acting out of ego, sometimes we are, especially if those actions are very selfish or very unsophisticated. I'm gonna put it like that. Okay. Honestly, like, I'm gonna give you an example. So one time, um me and my ex stories, right? So I'm driving over to him, and he's starting to tell me that he no longer wants to give me cash to fill up my car so that I can go drive 2 hours away and go see him, right? And I'm like, okay. After that, but to me, that he's acting out of ego, right? He's acting selfishly. He makes way much more money than me. I'm his girlfriend. I'm supposed to be like, take care of me. Hello. So Nothing else to say there. But guys, don't act out of ego because that's selfish. That's ugly. Don't ever do that. Okay. So back to our 99% realm. Remember, are you are connected to the 99% realm where all of the things that you want in your life can be manifested, can be created because you are conscious of the fact that you're cause and effect to your life, right? So if you are cause and effect to your life, then you're gonna consciously be saying to yourself, like, okay, I want to manifest this, I am grateful for this, I need this, right? And then you're going to act accordingly in order to manifest what you want in your life, okay? So, prosperity of the 1% versus the prosperity of the 99% is very different. So, I'm just going to read this one line to you guys. Let's, so the physical realm always has chaos, conflict, and fight. Instead of discovering creatively, all we can discover is repetition of what has been done. We live life in a form of reactivity in effect to our world of in effect to our external world, kind of like servers, not like bosses. So when we're reacting to our world, we are servers of our lives, we're not the bosses of our lives, right? Then in contrary to the realm of the 99%, where we find satisfaction, joy, true creativity, and long lasting peace, you are connecting yourself to what we call the light of the creator. This is the realm in which our competitor hides um, our true selfish nature. Despite, however, the only place where we're granted the power to be, however, this is the only place where we are granted to be the bosses of our own life in the 99%, right? So even though there's two realms that exist and that you can connect to, there's also two types of prosperity. On one side, there's a prosperity of the 1% in which you earn money but you don't obtain love, right? Here is where all businesses grow rapidly but fall even faster because of what we know. Because here, all of a sudden, things can happen and then emergencies can happen. But on the other side, where we have the 99% prosperity, in which not only do we have money, but we also have a life where we can enjoy this money. Your life is blessed with love, health, happiness, and true satisfaction. In each moment of your life, you choose which realm to connect with. If you connect with the realm of 1%, you're going to be the server of, of the search of the false prosperity with a limited thinking. But if you connect to the 99% realm, where you become the boss of your life and you open the doors to true prosperity. And so this takes us to the topic about money. Have you heard people talk about money truly? Because what is money in reality? What is it? That's what the question is with this, guys. But guys, it's 30 minutes in. I might have to cut this show in two parts, okay? But I'm gonna end it here. It's a good note, okay? Remember the 1% realm and remember the 99% realm, okay? Where is it that you want to pull from to have your true prosperity, right? So remember, guys, we talked about our opponent, which is ourselves, right? Our ego. We talked about our true prosperity comes within the light of ourselves, comes from that 99% realm of curiosity, creativity, light, flowing, abundance, joy, peace. Like, guys, if you really want to be prosperous in life, you would want to be pulling from the 99% realm. There's no reason for us to be pulling from the 1%. I mean, like, guys, who would you rather be? The boss of your life or the server of your life, where you're reacting, where you're upset, where you're yelling? Like, guys, I've been I've been conscious of myself in both of these realms, right? But now that I know, now that I read more of this stuff and what's going on within me, so that it without me, right? Within me, right? What goes within me is what I am manifesting in my exterior world. Don't forget that. So within me, I want to feel happy, abundant, joyful, peaceful, everything. I have everything in my life to feel like this, right? And if I don't, why don't I? How can I feel better with my life at this point? How can I become better at my life, right? How can I act better in my life, right, guys? So it's not about why does this keep happening to me? No, that's victim mentality. That's 1% real mentality. That's I am the victim of my life, not I am the creator of my life, right? So remember, victim mentality means you're in the 1% realm where why doesn't it happen to me? No, it's not about why it happens to you. It's that about how it happens for you and what you're going to learn from it, right? When you already know that this is happening in my life for a reason, I'm gonna learn about this. What can I learn from this? How can I learn? How can I teach others about what's happening in my life? How can I be better at my life? How can I respond to my life better? Is about prosperity, right, guys? It's all about the prosperity that you feel within your heart. And so don't forget about that. And then next weekend we'll continue because I have a bunch of notes for you guys. This book is amazing, honestly. So remember, guys, so again, 99% realm is you pulling from being the boss of your life, from you being at peace, being joyful, being happy with what you have in your life right now. Because when you are happy with who you are right now, with what you have, with everything, it's only gonna get better. It only means that you're being so grateful for who you are and what you have right now that God only wants to keep elevating you through that. But if you are in the other realm and why does this happen to me? Why is my life not better? Why me, blah, 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 complaining, then guys, you're only going to keep getting more of that because then you're not understanding how to truly live in a true life prosperity mindset. Okay. So be careful out there. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to cut it short here, but I hope you understood where we are right now. Okay, remember you're the opponent, and as you are you're this is you right now, right? Okay, this is why we always tell you guys to look in the mirror when you're trying to see who's sabotaging your life, right? Who is getting all these bad things in your life? It's you. It's always you. It's not your boss. It's not your friends. It's not your competition or whoever you work with, whoever you're thinking is, oh, they're out to get me. No, it's you out to get you. hmm Okay, so remember that. And then remember about the ego. Everyone's got one. Everyone has an ego for a reason, right? Everyone has this ego. And if you know about the story and everything, if you believe in God and the creator and everything, you know that your ego, well, is the devil. Okay. So remember, guys, that life is very beautiful. And the more beautiful you feel within yourself, the more beautiful your life will be. So, if you want true prosperity in your life, just know that you already have it all. Just know that you already have it within you to be prosperous. But if you're not feeling that prosperity in your life, it's because you're probably reacting to your life and you're probably the server of your life versus the creator of your life. And once I understood that, also, guys, it was like mind blown, right? I was like, I don't want to be the bad creator of my life. I don't want to keep being the bad cause of my life. And that's when I started, changing my thought process and my belief process and started like changing within me, right? Changing my own belief systems, changing myself so that I could manifest a better life for myself. Okay. Okay, guys. So I'm going to leave it there. I'll finish next week, part 2. Okay. And I'll start part 1 in Spanish. But guys, get this book too. Okay. um, Let me see. What else can I end here? Good enough to end. Yeah, it's our 1% and our 99%. You are the ruler. You are the cause and effect. If you want more money in your life, it means that you need to Here, better your heart, better your belief system about yourself, and remember that true prosperity already exists within you, and you are the cause and effect to your life. You are right now the best creator that you can be, and you're not the victim of your life. You are the creator of your life, and you have the power to change everything that's going on around you. Okay, and you want to see a better day tomorrow. It all starts with what you do today. Okay. Okay, guys. All right. I'll see you next weekend, guys. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your views. Remember, I am your life and self love coach, Anna. Okay. I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.